AFL today saw 2 games played and the crowds packed into VFL Park, where reigning premiers Collingwood tried to notch up their 4th win of the season. Their opponents, however, Melbourne, have shown steady improvement since their drubbing in round 1, and with 28 goals last week against North, have a top-class forward line. The Roos, meantime, were battling it out at the MCG, trying to erase the memories of 3 heavy defeats as they tackled the Sydney Swans, also looking for their 2nd win of the season. The AFL today, exclusively on 7 Sports.
And a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special Anzac Day edition of the AFL today. 2 games were played this afternoon from round 6. Collingwood and Melbourne at the Park, and North against Sydney at the MCG. The round, of course, to be completed with 3 games on Saturday and 2 from interstate on Sunday. Out at VFL Park, it was the 198th clash between Melbourne and Collingwood, and while the Magpies have won 127 of those, the Demons' recent record is much better, winning 7 of the last 9. The Magpies winning their only meeting last year at the Park by over 8 goals. For today's hit-out, the Woods brought in Tarpey and Alan Richardson. Morwood was a late withdrawal from the side, and out of the lineup were Monkhurst, Anderson and the injured Kelly. The Demons brought in Garry Lyon, Spencer and Ford for Bryson Lovell. Keogh, who was originally omitted, replaced Jackson in the selected 20. With me in the commentary box, Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan. We pick up play at the start of the second quarter.
Second quarter from VFL Park. The Magpies leading by 11 points after they had most of the play in the first term. Francis out to Tony Shaw. The Magpies skipper's kick marked by Campbell. The umpire calls play on. Let's see if the Magpies can get something going early in this term. Some more constructive forward play that brings better efforts. Starcevic now. Outside 50. Good long kick. That'll just about make the distance. In the back, Richardson couldn't take the grab. He took a screamer in the first quarter over Road, and that resulted in one of Collingwood's goals. So further behind to their tally, 2 goals 8, and Melbourne 1 goal 2. Tony Campbell to kick in again. Mullane underneath it with Stretch, with Steins rather. This is Dyson. Dyson from right half back. Former Oakley player, and the mark taken by Tarpey. The things he did in the first quarter, more than useful. Kick by Krasiska down towards half forward. Stephen Clark, who was in the hands of the trainers just before quarter time, seems to have recovered okay, and he gets his kick back to Viney.
Viney to the half forward line. Good mark, Harrison.
No movement by the Melbourne half forwards. Harrison easily able to come over the top.
I think it'd be a good move to interchange Lyon with Spalding at the moment. It'd be a good time to do it as we see Rod Owen to the half forward line. Banks sets himself. Oh, danger here over the back. Cuthbertson, an open goal. He hurries his kick. Oh, he could have run down into an open goal. Kicked it on the left foot. And he wouldn't have realised it, but he was under no pressure whatsoever.
No, that's right, Pete. It's a funny thing what pressure does to a player, because he could have even had a bounce then and run right into the goal, because the Collingwood players had no chance of getting him.
Well, he should have kicked on the right foot for a start, young Darren Cuthbertson. There's Banks to the half-back line. Spalding should mark and does. Now, they need him to lift.
Yes, Pete. Shocking kick-off from Banks there from full-back. Just wobbled it. A wobbly old punt off the boot.
Well, Spalding, not known for his long kicking, can surprise you at times from 55 metres. That's a beautiful-looking drop punt. That might get there. I think it did. It's a goal. Well, Earl Spalding surprises everyone, kicks a great goal, and Melbourne fight back. 2-8 Collingwood, Melbourne 2-3.
Well, as I said, Pete, that mistake from Dennis Banks, the kick out from full back, just wobbled off the boot. Was lucky to get 40 metres, because Earl Spalding was kicking out from almost the 50-metre line, and if you're kicking out 40 metres from full back, you're not doing a job.
Spalding's first goal. Bennett was the other goal kicker for Melbourne. Back into the centre. First blood of the Demons in the second term. Steins doing battle with Manson. Neither ruckman got a handle on it. Finally, the Collingwood ruckman up towards the edge of the square. He got a chance to go forward again. There's a free kick. Mr. Spalding takes hold of the ball. And it's going to be taken by Gavin Krasiska at centre half back. Krasiska's kick straight down the ground. Steins at the back. Was there more interference there to Starcevic? Then Lovett has come out with the ball. He gives it over to Brett Lovett. Kick number 8 for him. Spalding again, marking in front of Tarpey.
It's better movement there from Earl Spalding.
Too far out to score this time. After that nice goal, Cuthbertson. Oh, mark, free kick, whatever.
There's no doubt there would have been a free kick paid because Darren Mullane just dragged him away. But Darren Cuthbertson able to take a very good chest mark.
Is Mullane, do you think Mullane's in the back pocket, Bernie?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it, Pete? There would be no other reason why Mullane would be playing in the back line. I don't think he would have followed the play down there. He wouldn't have been down there that quickly.
So Darren Cuthbertson has a chance to make amends for missing that goal a couple of minutes back. What's he done with it? It's a goal. His first, and the Demons hit the front, 3-3 to 2-8.
He's the danger player down there on that forward line. 7 great goals last week. Earl Spalding starting to take control across the half-forward line. A good leading mark, and Cuthbertson in front. Mullane tried to drag him away from it. Just not able to. Now, I think Mullane's actually still on the wing. Going back to pick up Kevin Dyson.
Melbourne leading 21-20 after an excellent mark that. Tapped down brilliantly to Viney. That was a great tap by Steins to full forward. Cuthbertson at the back. He's got it. An open goal coming up. Darren Cuthbertson kicks. It's another one to the youngster. Beautiful football by the little forward pocket player. 4-3-27 Melbourne. Collingwood 2-8-20.
4-3 to 2-8 as Melbourne takes command. Collingwood, of course, missing a lot of opportunities in the first quarter when they kicked 2 goals 7. Gavin Brown in front of Brett Lovett, and Brown within kicking distance.
Very classy player, Gavin Brown. He missed his first 3 weeks through suspension. Had a groin operation over summer. The only player to keep his eyes on the ball.
54,000 roundabout here this afternoon for this clash. She's about 5,000 up on the match these two sides played here last year, which Collingwood won by over 8 goals. Brown's kick is a goal. Melbourne player played his cards pretty close to his chest there, gave us no indication. 4-3 to 3-8.
Pretty quiet behind the goals there too, Pete. The crowd weren't sure which way it was going, so it must have been very close. And Gavin Brown, a very important player in this Collingwood side, playing on the forward line or across the centre. A very versatile player. Just about the perfect athlete.
Melbourne by 1 behind. Manson, well done. Down to Francis. Francis to the half-forward line. Punched down by Campbell. Scott Russell. Ran over it. Stephen Stretch, a very ordinary effort to the half-forward line. Grabbed by Lyon. Lyon right out wide. His head out in the full. It is.
Well, there's just too much fumbling from some of these Melbourne players under pressure. Just allowing Collingwood in there again.
Gavin Brown has kicked 1 as he brings it to the half-forward line. Campbell in front. Richardson can't grab it on the second bite. Campbell, a hand pass backwards. This is Francis. Tapping it further afield. Stretch had to make up for a fumble a moment ago to the half-back line. Lovett working hard. So is young Paul Williams. Charging in after it. Ridden into the ground by Ford. Dacos. And the umpire paying the advantage. Dacos. Christian. Tony Shaw. Alan Richardson trying to break the tackle, does so. Gets round onto the right foot and from 40 metres. Alan Richardson, will it get there? Touched. Or is it a free kick? It could be a free kick in front of goal. Going the way of Richardson.
Oh. Well, it's a brave umpire to pay that in front of goal there.
Well, there was a bit of pushing and shoving. They were both in bowl. Let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look again. And
too high.
Well, very lucky to get that free kick. Very lucky, because Richardson was doing the shepherding and pushing himself back into road.
A goal.
Well, Mark Richardson's second goal. And from a similar distance, he got his first one at the other end of the ground. 4-8. They're tallied to 4-3.
Well, let's have a look at that free kick again.
Too high there, Bernie, wasn't it?
Well, very slight touch there, Pete, and I'd put that down as a charity goal.
Young Mark Richardson was backing back into road, making it awkward for Peter Road. And
Tucking back, Peter, was he?
Yeah, he was, Peter, as a matter of fact. Touch and go, actually, wasn't it?
Very lucky. Very lucky to get that. Manson doing well in the centre bounce.
19 minutes left in the second term. 32 plays 27. 2 goals to Richardson for Collingwood. 2 to Cuthbertson for the Demons. Short hand pass. Christian offloaded as he kicked. No free kick downfield. Brett Lovett, arguably Melbourne's best player at the moment. Getting much get past him. Well, 2 Melbourne players collide. Todd Viney's come down with the mark. That took courage. Viney from midfield. Kicks long to half forward. Bennett, great grab. Oh, he called play on.
I think it must have been touched off the boot.
Yes, it must have been, because Keogh, I noticed, got very close to the boot of Todd Viney when he kicked it. So that's the only reason it could have been called play on.
Well, bad luck for Melbourne, because Darren Bennett, the way he kicks, was well within scoring distance. Glenn Lovett and Turner, Keogh and Gafer. Keogh breaks clear, breaks the tackle beautifully. That took strength, and that's going pretty close, but I fancy just... No, it's a goal! Oh, it looked as though it had drifted away. The crowd was pretty quiet, but the goal umpire stood motionless and then put up the 2 fingers. So a quick fight back again by Melbourne. 5-3 to 4-8. Great game.
Yes, and you'd almost think that you're in South Australia after that goal was kicked, because very little reaction to that from the crowd. Must have been very close again, but Rod Keogh doing very well to break that tackle from Michael Gafer. Rodney Grinter on the ground, and who's replaced Stephen Stretch.
Melbourne by a point. What a great game we're witnessing. 18 minutes of play left in this second quarter. Grinter on the ground to replace Stretch, and they love him, the Melbourne supporters. Good use of the body by Spalding, but Keogh goes back. Oh, he's kicked it out wide. Who will it bounce for? It'll bounce for Keogh. Can he break the tackle? He can. He looks for the short one. Dummies onto the right foot. Great play. Option of 2 players, and he's found Glenn Lovett.
Yes, he didn't panic there, did he, Rod Keogh? Kicking on his unnatural foot, his right foot.
Glenn Lovett from 50 metres runs very close to Dacos. A high floating drop punt. Will it sneak in for a goal? Yes, it will.
Drawing the Woods 7-1 to 5-4, but Collingwood still led by 2 points at half-time. We pick up play with some 17 minutes remaining now in the third quarter, and Melbourne is leading by 2 points.
Tarpey from the right back pocket. Kicks over the head of Spencer. Trying to get the ride was Phoebe. Williams put out of business with a good hip and shoulder. That was a throw, wasn't it? Umpire says play on, and Viney does just that. A little bit scrambly the play down there now. Need somebody to pick it up cleanly. And a real huge pack developing, and the umpire will bounce the ball.
Enormous endeavour shown by both sides there, though, Pete. All players prepared to dive in, lay the tackles. And it's only...
wasn't pretty, Bernie.
It wasn't pretty, and we'll just have to see which side cracks first, but no signs at the moment.
Steins shoved out of it. Keogh. Oh, good play, Rod Keogh. Under Todd Viney, who's looking for Owen. Scott Russell played a great game, but this occasion he has put it out of bounds on the full.
Owen's been well held today, Peter, too. Only 4 kicks and 2 hand passes.
Yes, well, Owen and Bennett both being held up there, so no, they've needed Cuthbertson to fire. There's Bennett flying. Well read by Beveridge, but he's lost it to Richardson. Alan Richardson to the half-back line. Oh, good, strong play. That was by Phoebe. Here's Stretch. Stretch has got a loose man out wide, and Steins. Now off he'll go. Probably look for Cuthbertson. Here he is, Cuthbertson. Out in front. That's what I like about that player, always trying to get that front position. Look at the tackle, great tackle. Jamie Turner, Kasiska, Collingwood, coming away from defence. Tony Francis, the centre of the ground, Stretch at the back in good position. Can't take the mark, he's got backup support. No, this is Grinter. Grinter on the left foot to the half-forward line. Bennett, a one-hander, couldn't take it. Cuthbertson, quick hand pass, tapped on to Gafer. That was from Christian. Back it comes to Francis. Collingwood working well in defence. Francis, a wobbly hand pass. Turner, where the Melbourne players waited. Here comes Manson. He's lost it. Brett Lovett. Brilliant skills by Brett Lovett. Socket off the ground, Steins. Beveridge. Turner. Phoebe. A lot of pressure on. Off the ground, and the mark has been taken by Spencer. That was kicked off the ground by Stretch. Now, Spencer is 65 metres from goal. The lead is being made now. The short one is on. Over the back. He'll get there first. This is Ford. Ford hooks it back towards the goal. It could be a goal to Melbourne. It is.
first goal, and a timely one for the Demons after some, well, untidy play, ugly play almost, but they really had to work for that kick, Bernie.
They certainly did, Pete, and kicks aren't easy to come by out there at the moment. The enormous pressure being applied by both sides. That's the first goal for the term from either side, and that's come at the 12.5-minute mark of the quarter, so that shows how tight things are out there on the ground.
Under 14 minutes left in the third quarter, and that was the first goal by either side for the term. 56 plays 64 now. Dyson out of the centre, as he did so well and so often last week against North Melbourne at the MCG. Christian takes the mark over to Tony Short. Short left half back. Transfers play to the members side and finds Williams, who takes the mark in front of Phoebe. Collingwood trying to get it moving quickly. McGuan. Campbell playing in front.
That ball's holding up. That Risabree's going Melbourne's end, Pete.
Might be handy in the last quarter for Collingwood as Dyson kicks long, taking full advantage of it. Christian and Owen. Christian almost over to Shaw again with another hand pass. Turner draws the man. McGuan. McGuan from the right half-back flank, starting on the bench today for Collingwood. Kicks up to the half-forward line. And that will be out of bounds. It came off the boot of Campbell, but no free kick.
Krasiska being replaced by Dennis Banks. Maybe he hurt that hip when he fell over on the other side of the ground there, Krasiska, earlier.
Steins tries for Lovett. Went to a teammate anyway. Dyson having a good game. The only player out there with long sleeves. His kick is not a long one. Rod Owen doesn't get the bounce he would have wanted. Turner's done a good job down there at half-back. And Alan Richardson taking a timely mark. That could be almost 50 metres. Well, Viney coming back pretty quickly.
Melbourne are getting killed at half-forward at the moment. I'd get Spalding back onto the ground. Quick smart.
Yeah, they need him there, don't they, Pete?
They certainly do. He works hard. There's Mullane, Starcevic. And I think they've made a bad mistake across half-forward, Melbourne. Starcevic from 50 metres. A beautiful kick right up towards the goal square. Pump the ground. The dangerous Dacos. Let's see what he can do. Round he comes. Hooks it back. This could be a great goal. No, deserved the goal. Bad luck, Peter Dacos.
He measured that, didn't he?
Look at the kicking. 7-15 to 10-4. Melbourne by 7 points. But I'm sure they're kicking with the breeze. Campbell, the stretch. Taps it on and over the line at half-back for Melbourne. I just think that Collingwood are working a little bit harder than Melbourne.
Well, that was a good opportunity there. Stretch out by himself. A long way out by himself, and the kick just not coming off there from full-back from Tony Campbell.
Good hip and shoulder by Williams too. Luke Beveridge. Acted from mid-air to centre wing. Christian loses out to Viney. Not a great hand pass. He might get a second chance to do something with it. Viney to Beveridge again. Too slow. Collingwood tackling has been good. On the bottom of it, Spencer.
Come on, Pete. That was disgraceful, that decision. Spencer had no opportunity whatsoever to do anything with that ball.
Francis to Alan Richardson. And still he goes. Campbell with a big punch away. Lovett. Is that holding the ball or in the back? It's not. It's a boundary throw-in, says Peter Cameron. Garry Lyon hasn't been his dominant self today. A bit of an injury cloud over him. Road offloaded. It's Dyson ultimately just up from the back pocket to get a kick in, and it's a pretty good one too. Bounces well for Viney. Turner rides him into the ground. A little toe poke by Owen gets the ball moving. Kerrison in the road. Ball finally slapped out to Owen again on the edge of the square. Measures the pass and measures it well, and Bennett takes the mark.
And couldn't have found a better man there either, Peter, because it's Darren Bennett, the player, to have the kick from just on the 50-metre line. Good play by Rod Owen. He's had a quiet afternoon, been well held. Jamie Turner's done a magnificent job on him. And Darren Bennett should have no problem with the distance.
Darren Bennett well held, as you can see. 4 kicks, but a vital kick coming on. He's kicked one. He'll kick from 50 metres out to the right. It's swinging back. It's a beautiful kick, a goal. 2 goals to Darren Bennett. Couldn't have come at a more vital time. 11-4, 70 Melbourne. Collingwood 7-15, 57.
Well, that's a danger for Collingwood.
To 10 minutes left in this term. Slapped down by Manson. Dyson. She gets a lot of kicks around that centre circle. Spencer and Christian. And rebounds to Banks. Spencer in pursuit. Francis and Ford. All we need is Coppler. And the stalemate develops out there.
So with that young Dyson, number 50, Bernie, Kevin Dyson, he's just reeks of class, doesn't he?
Well, I gave him 2 votes last week. A magnificent game against North Melbourne. He's continued on this week.
So bounce on centre wing. Alan Richardson. And the mark taken by one of the best on the ground in my book in Brett Lovett. Done little wrong today to his skipper Garry Lyon, and that won't lose him any points certainly. Lyon from inside the square. Melbourne captains kick into the open spaces. Spencer racing forward with Banks. A hand pass and a hurried one at that. Back it comes to Dyson. He'll have to get rid of it quickly. Good tackle. Spencer again. Another hand pass. Goes backwards. And this time he does find the player in Stephen Stretch. Not a long kick. Thumped away by Christian. Owen turns on a thrippity bit right on 50 to get the ball back. It could bounce through. It's bounced and it is through for 4 points. Owen kicks his first goal, and a valuable one for Melbourne, 12-4 to 7:15.
Yes, Pete, they need to do well in this term too, Melbourne, because as we said earlier, the breeze has stiffened, strengthened towards the end. Melbourne are kicking too. As we have a look at this in replay, Rod Owen, a very quiet afternoon, 6 kicks now. But a very valuable kick there, the tumble punt around the corner from 50 metres, and the wind assisting that. Was able to just tumble through. So Rod Owen, he's also very damaging if he gets the ball.
Vital 8 minutes of football coming up. Melbourne on a run at the moment. Steins got that hit out. Tarpey was dragged to ground. Kerrison, a quick kick. Here's a chance for Richardson. Richardson running straight down the ground. The kick is out wide. Can Brown get there? Yes, he can. Beautiful kick.
Well, Collingwood have made a change too, Pete, because Manson's been taken from the ground, Barwick back on, and Tarpey doing the ruck work. Good play by Gavin Brown there, just getting away from Tony Campbell, who's done a fairly good job on him this afternoon, but Gavin Brown reads the play very well.
He's kicked 2, Bernie, and only 5 kicks. Beautifully placed kick that was by Alan Richardson. They need this Collingwood. They need it bad. They need a good straight kick here. And that looked fairly good off the boot, right through the middle, a handy one. Gavin Brown has kicked 3. Collingwood fight back, 8:15:63. Trail Melbourne, and Melbourne on 12-4, 76.
There's still anybody's game as we have a look at this mark and replay. Gavin Brown running away from play, and Tony Campbell just drawn to Alan Richardson. A good kick there by Richardson, and a magnificent kick by Gavin Brown for goal from about 30 metres out.
7.5 minutes left in the quarter. Gavin Brown's 3rd goal. Keogh barges his way through. Like one of his predecessors in number 31, Ron Barassi. Christian thumps the ball to ground. Owen, a long hand pass. Chance for Viney if he can pick the ball up. Gets a shocking bounce. Might have got a free kick out of it, and in fact will do. He was tackled too high.
And very fortunate, I thought, Pete, too, because he made it look a lot worse than what it was. Here's Viney. He's slipping over that. Hardly touched him, Michael Christian, and Todd Viney throwing his arms back, just making sure the umpire awarded him that free kick.
Which he did. Kick number 18 for Todd Viney. That makes him one of Melbourne's leading kick getters today. Don't think he'd be too happy with where that one went. Well, luck might be a fortune because Keogh has taken the mark, but I'm sure Peter McKenna wasn't intended for it.
That he'll claim that as a pass in the showers after the game.
I don't think he could even claim that as a pass. It's very fortunate that it went off the side of the boot, and Rod Keogh happened to be standing there to take that mark, and he looks like he may have hurt a hamstring or hawked a thigh, maybe.
Might be the latter, perhaps. Not going to help him kick this goal. Oh, might be a hammy.
Someone else might have to take the kick. Who's there? Ford.
Bennett should have ran over.
No, the umpire said you have to take the kick. Well, if he doesn't believe him, Pete.
But if his leg's not right,
maybe that's a free kick, not a mark.
What's that?
No, I mean...
No, if you can't take the kick...
A free kick?
No, it's from a mark or a free kick.
All right, we'll have Bill Della on the phone again. What's he done with it? Very hard to read the goal umpire sometimes, but John Northey has his own thoughts. 8:15 to 12:5, 63 to 77. Dennis Banks to kick the ball back into play. There's 6 minutes left in this term, and really it's shaping up for a thriller in the last quarter. Turner takes the mark in front of Darren Bennett. Bennett's kicked 2 goals today, been overshadowed by Darren Cuthbertson, who's kicked 5. McGuan from left half-back flank kicks long, almost to half forward. Heavy clash down there, but finally it's Campbell to break clear for Melbourne.
Beautiful long kick too. It's Cuthbertson again at the back, but he just misjudged his run then and tripped. And Jamie Turner's been excellent, played well. A loose man, Mick McGuan coming straight down the centre of the ground. A goal here to Collingwood to be very, very handy. Brett Lovett, oh geez, played a great game at half-back today in Melbourne. Very rarely plays a bad game, Lovett. Now he's kicking short. The player making position, Trevor Spencer, the former Bomber. Now he's playing on, he's kicking it out wide. He's found someone, and it's Luke Beveridge. I don't think it was intended for him. It was meant for Owen. Now Bennett's calling for it long and high. He's going back. Oh, he's got the sit, Darren Bennett. He flies. Oh, it could be a goal.
The umpire's played a free kick against Bennett.
Were not his eyes on the ball?
Well, he had his eyes on the ball, but was it within 5 metres?
Well, I'll tell you what, should have taken that mark. He really had to sit on Dennis Banks. There's the kick to the half-back line. Rod Owen, Michael Christian, working hard around the boundary line. He's found Tarpey. Mullane. There he is again. Brett Lovett, unstoppable on that half-back flank, and he's playing on a much bigger man in Craig Starcevich.
12 kicks and 6 hand passes he's had so far today. Unstoppable, a good word to describe his overall efforts. Spencer gets up. Gerard Healy, any news on Keogh?
Yes, Rod Keogh's left hamstring has gone into spasm, and he won't be able to come back out into the ground unless that relieves. But hopefully it won't take too long to come back.
Spasm, eh? All right. Dyson. That's what I call cramp. Gerard's a physiotherapist, so he knows more about it than I do. Christian, good mark.
Get Spalding back on the ground, Pete. They need him there.
Oh, do they ever?
Turner, Dacos, as they're breaking down badly across the half-forward line. Kick long, a lot of players misread it. Garry Lyon taps the ball out wide, and Dyson on the end of it. He seems to have a little bit of class about him, this fellow. His disposal generally good. This time he's gone for the long kick. Glenn Lovett and Christian. He gets slung out of the road. Spencer kicks it off the ground. Finally gets a hand pass in. Not an effective one. Shaw in front of Glenn Lovett again. Collingwood through Jamie Turner, defending desperately. Better soccer work from Rod Owen if he can pick the ball up. Gets it onto the left foot and has kicked it out of bounds on the full. It will be a free kick to be taken by Dennis Banks, adjacent to the behind post. 3 minutes left in this quarter.
And the next goal, vitally important, Pete.
Spencer and Steins, Christian and Tarpey doing the contesting work there. It's knocked out of bounds. Lee Matthews doesn't look too happy at the moment. Then again, you don't see too many coaches smile in the third quarter. Over the back from Steins. Dacos couldn't do much with it. Tarpey finally. Duel on centre wing, and Dyson, as I said before, he's a class player. A good find by the Demons, takes the mark.
Well, actually haven't seen a more impressive young player in a long time than Dyson. With so much time. There's Owen, a big grab.
Yes, a good grab too, Rod Owen over Spencer. And Michael Christian.
Now he's got a loose man out wide in Lovett, and he's got it to him. Glenn Lovett. Now, well, he's looking to play on too, so he's kicked one, Lovett. Pretty acute angle. Will kick from about 35 to 40 metres.
Oh, he moved it quickly too, Rod Owen. Good thinking there to get the ball on quickly.
Glenn Lovett for goal number 2. There's the drop part. Will it swing back? I don't think so. It's to the right. So a couple of missed opportunities late in this quarter. 8:15 Collingwood, Melbourne 12-6. So what's that? 8 and 7, 15 points the margin. A handy little break, but Collingwood will come home with the slight breeze in the last quarter.
1.5 minutes left in the term. Dennis Banks kicks in. That's a good kick. Clark. Then Cuthbertson. Dangerous near goal. This fellow, he knows where they are. Does he what? That's goal number 6.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
And so at three-quarter time, the difference was 21 points in favour of Melbourne. Could the Magpies come back in front of a huge crowd out at the park? Let's go now to some highlights of the final quarter.
Lamont at the back of Beveridge. He plays on quickly. Back to Glenn Lovett. 45 metres out from goal. This time, perhaps. Bennett! Next to the behind post is marked. He's kicked 2 goals today. Pretty acute angle, Bernie.
There's very little Dennis Banks could do about that. Just caught out of position. In front, doing the right thing, but Bennett playing on. He's had a snap. I think he's put it through.
He has. It's a goal. Great start for the Demons in the last quarter. Bennett's third. Righty this time. Spears in the pass down towards full forward, and Bennett again takes the mark.
Bennett really appreciating it.
So Darren Bennett coming in for kick number 9 and goal number 5. Again, the distance shouldn't be a problem. Right on 50. Booming drop punt. The goal of par indicates full points.
Siska has been fairly quiet. Is the young Tasmanian Paul Williams battling hard. All Melbourne players coming from everywhere. Tony Shaw has had a very quiet day. Turner has almost been Collingwood's best. Hand pass to Mullane. Mullane trying to get onto the right foot. Set sail for home, Darren Mullane. And I think it's a goal to the Magpies. It is. Lyon sets himself. Oh, great play, Lovett. Have a look at that. Oh, magnificent play, Lovett. On to Clark. Now Todd Viney, the leader's on. Oh, great mark, Cuthbertson.
He's got something special about him, this boy, hasn't he?
Oh, championship qualities, this kid. He's going for goal number 7 after 7 last week. What a foil he is for Darren Bennett. Darren Cuthbertson, the boy from Epping. Kicks a goal. It's another one.
And so there it was before a crowd of 55,735. Melbourne victorious by 36 points. Cuthbertson finished up with 7 goals and Bennett 5. And for Collingwood, Mark Richardson, very promising young player. He got 4 goals and Brown got 3. There were no reports and a very, very good win to the Melbourne side after a very